Alright, so we've done our layout now, and I wanted to talk through a little bit about how we started there. We know we wanted a 44-foot long footprint with and a 16-foot wide. Our cabin structure is going to be 16 feet by 32, and then we're going to have another covered like storage area where we're going to keep our rain tanks in that additional 12 feet on top of the 32. So that's all going to come up this way. We oriented it because we want ultimately the bedroom to be or the kitchen, I'm sorry, to be on that far side, since we're going to spend a lot of time in the kitchen and the living room, and so we can have windows on that lower side that overlook our field. And so, you know, we work backwards from there, and we know that we're going to have to put our rainwater tank on this side. Kind of works out, it is uphill, so we just get that much more gravity pressure when we think about running that water down into the field from the rain tanks. So every foot is good there. We also made that decision based off of this cove area over here, this little glade. This is wide enough for an RV to get in, so we didn't want to encroach on this area too much. So we set this corner first. We set this corner to be where we thought we wanted it, relative to it in this space here, and also the distance from the tree line. And then once we set this point, you know, this point was fairly arbitrary, you know, based off of what I just explained. We decided on this point, and then we measured 44 feet that way to get this back edge. And then while we were setting that line, that's when I had my compass out and was making sure, okay, is this line, you know, when I'm perpendicular to this line, is that facing south? And it's pretty close. I think to get any closer, we would have had to swing that back corner back into the tree line more, and I didn't want to do that. I mean, but we're within a degree or two. We're very close. And then from there, once we got that back line, then we used our old friend Pythagoras's theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, if you remember that from ancient history. And we were able to, you know, measure our two legs. So this is a squared, the length here, that's that 44 feet. Our b squared, that's 16 feet. We know what those are. We take the square root of 44 squared plus 16 squared, solve for c, ringing any bells? And then that's our hypotenuse, right? Math is our friend. And then so we can lay out that corner, and then our front corner, and it's square and rectangular. We know it's true. My wife Ellie had this great idea to use, this is a lot easier when you're doing the Pythagorean theorem to have three people, but she didn't, so she used two flags to snag the end of the tape measure, and we were kind of wanting to do two flags anyways to mark the corners to make them more visually apparent. That way we can have, you know, one tape being pulled that way, and then she can be holding the other tape and I can be stretching it and pulling it to the other corner. If you have three people, you know, on each, you know, vertex of the triangle, it's a lot easier.